A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of the managing team, I welcome you all to today's Op Manager training series. Before we could start, please confirm if you're able to hear me properly and see the presentation. We could start the presentation once we get few confirmations in the chat box that the audio and the presentation is clear. Okay, we have started receiving few confirmations that the audio and the presentation is clear. And if you have any doubts during the session, please do ask. We do have a team of panelists here who could answer your questions. And also, in the end of the webinar, we would be having a short question and answer session where we'll be sharing few of the interesting questions which we have received during the course of the webinar for the advantage of the larger audience. Let me introduce myself. I'm R. Surendran, one of the product experts from the Manage Engine team who takes care of support, product training, and implementation for Op Manager. So now let's see the schedule for this season's Op Manager training series. On April 6th, we had a first training session on network discovery, and today, April 13th, we are going to discuss in detail about network monitoring in Op Manager, followed by on April 20th, we would be discussing in detail about alerts, reports, and network mapping in Op Manager. And finally, on April 27th, we'll be seeing about the add-ons which are available in Op Manager and the various integration options which are available within Op Manager. For the better convenience of larger audience, we do have two schedules for the Op Manager training series. One is conducted in the GMT time zone, and the second is conducted in the EDT time zone, which is now at 11 a.m. So now let's kickstart the part 2 of the Op Manager training series on the network monitoring. So what should be monitored in Op Manager and what and all can be monitored using Op Manager? So when we talk about monitoring metrics which a network or a system administrator wants to monitor in their environment varies in a wide range of perspective and their network requirements. On simpler terms, the basic and the most critical requirements would be to monitor the sys uptime, the performance of the devices, and various other metrics like script-based monitors, URLs, and each and every parameter based on their organization and their environment, it varies. So using Op Manager, you would be able to monitor various aspects and metrics which are available in each device based on their vendor. We can monitor it. And now let's see the agenda for today's presentation, which will give us on what are the topics which we are going to cover in detail and the various metrics which can be monitored using Op Manager. Starting with the first topic, which is on availability monitoring. Industry experts say typical network availability must reach 99.9%, and let's see how that can be achieved using Op Manager. And the second topic which we're going to discuss is about server performance metrics. To monitor your entire server infrastructure and get in-depth visibility into key performance indicators. Network performance metrics is to learn more on how to monitor your backbone of your entire network infrastructure and your business. IPSLA based monitoring, learn the importance of transferring and receiving data when you have a workplace across a global network. WLC monitoring, we will see how to gain greater visibility over your network and its connected devices. So now let's start with the first topic which we are going to see for today's webinar, which is on availability monitoring. Availability monitoring or monitoring a system uptime is one of the basic and the most critical metrics which we want to monitor irrespective of any device type which we have in our environment. So the availability or sys uptime decides how good our infrastructure has been configured and how well our business can go moving forward. So using Op Manager, you would be able to monitor the health status of the device using ICMP, TCP, and SNMP. If you have a secured environment where ICMP protocol is blocked, where you can't perform any ping actions using ICMP, you can switch to TCP or SNMP based ping to see the availability or the health status of the respective devices. And likewise, you can monitor these devices in a configured polling interval. You can set threshold for packet loss and response time. You can monitor the availability or the system time of the devices through an agent and get a real-time information. You can set device dependencies for the devices and get more information on your network. See, for example, if you have a parent or a child concept in your environment, and if the uplink router or the main router goes down, it eventually means that all the devices which are under them is going to go down. So using by setting the device dependency, you can skip of getting multiple alerts when your parent or your core router goes down, and you can get an alarm stating that the parent is down instead of getting 20 or numerous number of device down alerts when the parent device actually goes down. So now let me take you to the op manager directly and show you the various availability metrics which are available and how we can monitor them. So as soon as you add a device to the op manager, we will automatically start monitoring them using the ICMP protocol for the availability or the health status of a device. So in terms of the availability monitoring, as we have discussed, we can monitor them using ICMP or TCP or SNMP based ping response from the devices and see if the device is up or down in the regular polling intervals. Here I've configured it as 1 minute. You could have it varying from 1 minute to 60 minutes or based on your requirements. So the minimum polling interval for a device is 1 minute, and it can vary based on your requirements as well. And here the availability monitoring can be done using the IP address of the device, or if you have a dynamic environment, you can use your DNS to monitor the availability of your respective devices. And in terms of availability, whenever you monitor a device, you would be able to get a detailed information about the downtime statistics, how long the device was active, down, and on maintenance. And here, based on each status of the availability, the device up or down status, you have different color coding. The green indicates device is up, the gray indicate it's on maintenance, it's nothing but the downtime scheduler, or the dependent unavailable, the parent device is actually down, and on hold is denoted by the color pink, and the red color denotes that the device is actually down, and the blue color indicates that it was not monitored by the op manager itself. And likewise, you can also get the downtime statistics from when to how long the device was down, the from to time period when the device was actually down, in the monitoring interval or by the monitoring statistics of the op manager. You can immediately export these information as well. And as we've already seen, we can configure the packet loss and the thresholds for packet loss and response time accordingly. For example, I need to configure a packet loss and get notified whenever the packet loss is going below 40%, because for my environment, if the packet loss is greater than 40%, or if it's greater than 55%, it means that majority of my data is lost, and there is going to be a huge downtime in my environment, and this has to be handled immediately. So in those cases, I could set a threshold for my packet loss and then take it forward accordingly. Likewise, I can also set a threshold for my response time, how fast my ping response is coming backwards. I could set my response time thresholds. Here I'm going to set a response time of 2 milliseconds. If it's greater than that, that is pretty vital for me. So I'm going to have a threshold for my response time. And likewise, you could do the same on bulk for various devices based on your requirement and monitor the availability or the health status of the device on bulk and get notified immediately on what's happening at what particular time. And likewise, as we have seen, we can set device dependencies as well. For example, if my server has an uplink device, I could easily set a parent device. For example, I'm already monitoring multiple devices in my op manager. I could set the uplink on my parent device for this device and set the uplink and monitor them accordingly. And in case if I want to do on a bulk configuration for multiple devices, I could very well do it using the quick configuration wizard, where I could set the device dependency on bulk for multiple devices at a single stretch. So this is how I could set uplink dependency and also monitor the health status of the devices in detail and get more information. So now let's go to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about the process monitoring. So depending on each device, we might have various processes which we want to monitor, which are critical in our environment or in our organization. For example, if it's going to be an educational institution, they have critical SQL servers, or they'll be having their hosting servers where the URLs or main business-based websites are being hosted. In those cases, certain processors will be much more critical for them, where they want to monitor the actual CPU memory and the instance count of those respective critical processors in their environment. So using Op Manager, you can list all the active processors which are running on the machine. You can monitor the process status as well as the CPU and memory consumption of the individual processes. You can configure threshold for critical processors and get alerted accordingly. So now let me take you to the product and show you the various options which are available when it comes to process monitoring. So here, as an example, I have added few of my process monitors to the Op Manager in my device which I am monitoring. So if I want to add a process monitor, it's pretty simple and straightforward. All I have to do is I have to associate a working WMI credential and then click on add monitor. So when I click on add monitor, all my processors which are running in my device will be listed, and I can select the desired ones and I have to click on add. So once I do that, that process monitor will be added to the Op Manager with respect to this device, and it will start monitoring it. And let's say I'm seeing a process which is consuming too much of CPU and memory, and it's not a critical process, and this is consuming too much of resources on my end device. So in those cases, how can I terminate it, or how can I stop it from the Op Manager? It's pretty simple and straightforward. All you have to do is you have to click on the process diagnostics, and once you click on that, this will immediately contact the device and show you all the active processes which are running on the server and its actual consumption. So here, as you can see, there are multiple processes which are running. And if in case if this Chrome is consuming too much of memory or resource on my server, 14%, which is not critical, all I have to do is just select it and end the process from the Op Manager itself. I need not go to the server, manually check what's the consumption, and terminate or kill the process on the end device. Just come to the Op Manager, see the process, see the consumption, and if it's not critical, just click on process diagnostic, and you can immediately terminate them and take it forward accordingly. And in Op Manager, you also have the tab where you can see the active processors which are actually running on your end device in a detailed manner as well. And in case if you want to associate process monitors on bulk to multiple devices, it's pretty easy and straightforward. You have to go to settings, monitoring, and process monitor. So under processors, you can add multiple processors and associate them to n number of devices based on your requirement and monitor them accordingly. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about Windows Service Monitor. So by the name itself, we can understand that these are monitors which are dedicated for monitoring the Windows services which are running on our Windows machines. So using the Windows Service Monitor, you can have a real-time availability of the Windows services, and you can also restart the service or the server if it goes down based on the criticality of the respective services which you are monitoring. And also you can monitor the service-based monitoring, which does the monitoring based on the TCP ports availability. So now let me take you to the product and show you in detail on how this Windows Service Monitor and the Service Monitor works, and what are the various options which are available in terms of these monitors. So for example, in this device, I've already associated few Windows services which I am monitoring, such as my Dell Vault Collector, or the data usage of cryptographic services which I'm monitoring, which are critical for me in my environment. And likewise, if you are hosting an MS SQL machine, and you need to monitor MS SQL services on them. It's pretty simple. All you can do is you can just select on the respective monitor which you want. For example, here I want to monitor my SQL or net login or my DNS or DHCP services. All I have to do is just select them and associate them to the respective devices, and it will start monitoring it. So, for example, in case if my DHCP service goes down, it's a critical service for me. I need the service to immediately restart automatically whenever it goes down. So in those cases, I can choose restart service and save it. So whenever Off Manager detects that this particular service is down, it will immediately restart the service itself. And likewise, for example, if my data usage goes down, I could restart the server itself and take it accordingly. And for example, for instances, and this is a SQL server, and I'm monitoring my SQL service. And SQL servers is one of the critical processes or services on any Windows machine for any organization which they're monitoring on their environment. If SQL goes down, it's going to have a major impact on our environment and our business as well. So in those cases, if it goes down and Op Manager detects this, it can immediately restart the server itself and then bring it bring that particular Windows servers and the server back online and make sure that there is no effect in your business and in your organization in terms of monitoring your devices or keeping your business up and running all the time. And now let's see about service monitors. So as we've seen in the presentation slide, the service monitor is based on the TCP port check. So for example, if my MS SQL service is running on a particular port called as 1433, I would be monitoring the TCP port's availability for port 1433 on that respective device from the Op Manager. And if the port is available, we would consider that that particular service is up and running, and if it's not reachable, we'll consider that the service is down. So based on your exact requirement, if you want to monitor the real-time status of the services which are running on your Windows machine, Windows Service Monitor is the best practice for you. And if you are want to monitor certain services based on the ports availability, you can switch to service monitors and monitor them accordingly. Likewise, you also have the bulk configuration and settings configuration, and over here you will have service monitors and Windows service monitors which are predefined, which are existing within the Op Manager, and you can create brand new ones or associate them on bulk to multiple devices based on your requirement as well. So now let's switch to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about file and folder monitors. So when we talk about file and folder monitors, we can monitor file or folder existence. We can monitor the shared folders in our environment. We can monitor the size, file count, and the age of the files which we are monitoring. We can configure thresholds for the files and monitor the size of the folder as well. We could also search for a particular string in the entire file and notify us if it's missing or if it's present using a log file agent from the Op Manager, and monitor the file or the folder in depth and get the statistics of the respective matrices in detail. So now let me take you to the Op Manager itself and show you how these folder and file monitors work and what and all are the matrices and the parameters which can be monitored and notified. So for example, I've already created a folder monitor in which I am monitoring one of the log files of my application. So in this, when it comes to the folder based criteria, I can monitor the folder existence, whether the folder is there or not, and if it's existing or do not monitor this condition. So here I am monitoring the folder's existence, and also I can monitor the size of the folder. See, for example, if my folder goes beyond 5 gigabytes, which is pretty huge, I want to get alerted. And if it's less than or if it's less than let's say 500 MB, that's normal. If it's beyond that, then I need an alert. So in those cases, I could set this threshold, and I could also set a custom severity for this alert as well. And then for folder modification, if there is any change or if someone makes a change in my folder, I could get notified if this is a critical folder for me. And I could also monitor the files which are inside my folder as well. For example, in the file, if it contains a specific string, I could get more notified. For example, if it contains a specific word, I could get notified. And also I could monitor the file size and the age which are there. For example, if the file size over here, the age of the size, for example, I do have a folder in which the files has to be deleted or removed as soon as the processing is completed. For example, I am working in a medical institution where my documentation will be uploaded in a particular folder and will be processed, and it will be removed from that folder within the next 10 minutes. So in those cases, in case if a particular file is there in the same folder for more than 10 minutes, I can get notified immediately that a process or a particular patient's documentation is not completed within the provided timeline. So in those cases, I can set the threshold and get notified accordingly. Likewise, I could also set the threshold for the size of the file as well and for file count. In the same case, let's take I am from an educational institution where this folder contains the mark list or the examination results which has been uploaded to this folder for multiple students, and the teachers will be correcting them and moving it to a different folder as soon as the process is completed. So in those cases, if the file count of a particular folder is beyond, let's say, an examination has been conducted and it's for a subject called as physics, and in that folder, if there are more than 100 files there, it means that the processing speed of the staff is not sufficient and it's reaching the threshold. So in those cases, I could set a threshold over here and get notified when the file count is more than 100, so that I could assign the respective staff or more resource to that particular task and make the work go much faster and in a much more efficient way, and where it will not cause any business critical application based failures in my environment. And also, when we talk about file monitors, in the file monitors, as we have seen, we can monitor the file contains whether a particular string is present in a particular file or not and get notified. And this is achieved by installing a log file agent in your end device. And this log file agent helps us search the entire file for the respective string, and then lets us know what is happening, whether that string is present or it's not. And likewise, I could get notified if the file is existing based on file size, age, and file modification as well. Installing the agent on the log file agent on the end device is pretty easy and straightforward. All you have to do is you have to go to settings, monitoring, and under agents you'll have this agent. You can just deploy them on bulk on the end device and monitor them. And if you want to associate file and folder monitors on bulk, it's pretty easy. You can add them under the monitoring tab and then click on associate and push it to the devices on bulk and monitor them accordingly. And this log file or folder monitors can be done using WMI credential or using the agent based monitoring, and you can take it forward accordingly. And as we have seen, we can monitor shared fold locations as well and get alerted based on the criteria which we want to monitor and get notified. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about an example and how Op Manager helps us achieve this particular requirement. For example, let's say a user complains that an application crashed and it's not stable. And this is the diagram. There is a database, and the application is hosted by a server and its databases, and it's accessed by different clients and users. So in this case, what would you do as server admin, and how could you monitor it? How could you get notified what's happening, where the problem is, whether it's with the whether if it's with the database side, or if it's with the front end or the back end, where it's happening, and how can you monitor? So in this case, Op Manager helps you monitor and get notified based on event log monitoring, can instantaneously notify you if a service account goes down or if something happens. So let's see how event log monitoring helps us in real time and what are the various options which are available under event log monitoring. So when we talk about event log monitoring, it's pretty simple and straightforward. The op manager will be monitoring the events on the end devices, and based on the rule which you create, which is otherwise called as event log rule, the op manager will raise an alert and notify you if that event is detected on the end device. So you can monitor the program events, security events, system events that are occurring on your Windows machine. You can gather the event ID, category, and etc. from the native tool event viewer and create a rule accordingly. You can monitor custom event logs which are there on your end devices, and you can have an alarm severity on the even based on your exact requirement. It is completely customizable. So now let's take an example here. In my machine, I do have a security event which I want to monitor, or I do have an application which I want to monitor with the status of error, and this is the exact information over here. As you can see, the source is an application error and the event ID is 1000. So I want to monitor this event in Off Manager and get notified if something goes wrong. So an account lockout or an invalid login attempt. So any event or any Windows event which is occurring, I can monitor that and get notified accordingly. So I'm going to create an Windows event which I want to monitor for the event ID which is 1000. So in those cases, all I have to do is I have to go to settings, monitoring, and under monitoring, I have to go to Windows event log rules. So under event log rules, all I have to do is I have to click on add and then choose the respective type. This is going to be a system event, and I'm going to give as a log on failure one, and then give the event ID as 1000. And the source is, if I want to give a specific source, I can give it. The category is error. If you want to get it from a specific user, you can do that, or you can skip that part, and then you can also choose a custom criteria. For example, if you want to get it as a critical or a trouble event, for example, if there is an invalid login attempt more than 5 times, it's a critical event for me, because someone is trying to access my network with an invalid credential, or an user is entering an invalid login credential to attempt to access my critical server. So in those cases, I could immediately get a critical alert and get notified based on each event and the criticality of that particular event in your environment. You could set the threshold and get notified. And if you want to associate these monitors on bulk, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is you have to go to configuration, quick configuration wizard, and you can associate these monitors on bulk as well. And once you start monitoring these events on a specific device, it'll monitor them in the availability polling interval, and it'll let you know what is happening. Over here, I'm already monitoring 2 of my events, and in case if this event is detected on the device, the op manager will immediately let me know, and I could take the necessary actions and then monitor them accordingly. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to discuss is about script templates or script-based monitoring, which is available using Op Manager. To monitor a specific metrics for which you can't find any standard SNMP or WMI monitors, you can use script templates or script-based monitoring and monitor them. You can monitor the scripts in any language like Python, VB scripts, or Perl, and etc. You can execute the scripts on the local machine or on their remote machines and get the results accordingly. The output should be as follows. It should be like data, instance 1, instance 2, value 2, and etc. So now let me take you to the op manager and show the script-based monitoring with a live example. For example, I have already created a monitor, or I want to create a brand new script monitor. It's pretty simple and straightforward. All you have to do is you have to give a name for the monitor, then the polling interval, the command line which you want to run it, and the script body, along with the threshold if you want to configure it at the time itself. And let's say, for example, I've already created few scripts for to help you understand how the script-based monitoring works. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So as you can see, I have created this instance count script monitor via a VB Perl script to see what is the actual count of the instances which are running for a specific process in my server. So in those cases, I've given my command line accordingly where I'm going to execute it on the local or the remote machine, and then I've written my script body as well. So using this, I'll be able to know whether what is the actual process code of that particular script which I'm running. So if I'm executing this, it will immediately give me the values and what is the actual script status on that particular device, and I could take it forward accordingly. And likewise, as we have discussed, I can execute this on a local server that is on the op manager machine and connect to the end device and execute it, or I could directly run these scripts on the end machine or the remote machine and take it forward accordingly. Likewise, you can create scripts on multiple languages like Python, Java, or based on your requirements. So if you know how to write a simple program, just copy the command line, paste the script, give a name for it, associate it, and let the product know where you need to run this and associate it to the respective device. And the off manager will run these scripts and give you the values and the results accordingly, and you can get notified if something goes wrong as well. So in these cases, you can reset passwords, or you can check the DNS status of them or NS lookup, or you can see how many password attempts has been done, what is the actual SNMP configuration, or if you want to make changes with the SNMP configuration, you can write a script, execute it on the end machine, and take the statuses accordingly. You can write scripts to do Windows patchings and or rebooting the servers when something goes wrong. So based on your creativity and your requirement, you can write the scripts and put it inside Op Manager, and Op Manager is going to execute them and give you the results accordingly in the regular configured polling instance. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about server performance monitoring of the storage devices. So when we talk about storage-based monitoring, these are the features which are available: RAID management, tape library management, storage capacity forecasting, fabric switch management, and service management. And also we do have a various vendor-based support. If it's going to be a RAID array, we can support IBM, H, Dell, Bosch, Hitachi, or Storage Tech, and etc. And if it's going to be a SAN switch, we can support Brocat, HP, QLogic, and etc. And if it's going to be a tape library, as you can see, HP, Dell, IBM, and etc. can be monitored, and these are the supported vendors of the op manager for storage based monitoring. And you do have dedicated reports for the storages which gives you the information about RAID read per second, RAID write per second, or RAID in and out, processing speed, and the storage summary as well. And now let's go to the Op Manager itself and see the various storage devices and the matrices which are available. And before we could proceed, if you have any questions in the topics which we are discussing, please do raise them in the chat channel. We do have our team of panelists here who could answer them, and you'll be able to get your queries or questions addressed immediately. So now when we talk about storage based monitoring, let's see how the storage based devices are monitored and what are the various informations which we could see in terms of storage devices. So here I have added one of my EMZ Unity series storage device to the op manager, and I am monitoring it. So here, as you can see, based on disk, how many disks are available, what is its usage statistics, entire and URL of them, and Loon based monitoring is available. Under Loon, I could get the information based on host, consistency groups, Loon availability of the devices, storage info, what is its actual information stored in each disk, or what are the various information based on storage pool, tire, FC ports, Ethernet ports, and all the other critical and vital metrics in terms of storage can be viewed and monitored using storage monitoring in Op Manager. Likewise, as we have discussed, under storage monitoring, you can monitor various device vendors with the supported protocols of those types of devices, and you can get the required information. And also, when we talk about storage devices or storage based monitoring, as we have already discussed in our previous webinar in part 1, the storage based monitoring is done based on, or it's licensed based on the number of disks which you want to monitor in these storage devices. So if you have a storage equipment in your environment which has 100 disks, you can easily get the storage based add-on and op manager with 100 disks and monitor them accordingly. So this is how Op Manager helps you in monitoring your storage devices with all the vital information which are critical in terms of storage-based monitoring, and get you can monitor them, take reports, and get notified if something goes wrong in those respective storage equipments or storage devices in your environment, and have a better resource utilization and a capacity planning, and you can get notified if something goes wrong immediately instead of on later notices when, especially if it's going to be a storage device in your environment. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about VMware performance monitors. So here we can monitor the CPU ready time, CPU wait time, memory balloon, network, disk, data stores. We can monitor the hardware metrics with respect to the virtual environment such as sensor, power, temperature, voltage, using protocols such as VMware API. And this we support the vendors of HP and Dell. Here you can also monitor the VMware events which are running on the vCenter, such as VM motion, host connections, VM connections, VM power off and on, or the orphaned VMs. And you can have a dedicated report session for the VMware or the virtual environment which you're monitoring, where you can monitor the underutilized resources, over provinced resources, or cluster-based latencies, or VMware parole-based dashboards which are available for virtual mapping and the information. So now let me take you to the product and show you the various virtual environments or the virtual metrics which you can monitor as soon as you add a device to the Op Manager. So for example, when you add a virtual device to the Op Manager, this is how the information is going to come in. So under a vCenter, you would be able to see the various hosts which are under them, the virtual machines which you are monitoring and which are present inside them, and also the data store based monitoring and the data stores which are available in them, and what are the various metrics which you can monitor with respect to the data stores. For example, let's take this device and see what are the metrics which I can monitor in terms of a virtual machine. Over here in this virtual machine, I am monitoring it using two different protocols. One is CLI and the other is the VMware credential. So in the virtual details tab, I'll be able to see what are the data stores which are associated for this particular virtual machine, along with the virtual NIC which are associated to them. And also under the monitors tab, I can associate and monitor various different matrices or monitors based on the protocol which I'm associating and using, and which are critical for my respective devices. And let's say I want to see the VMware events which are happening on my vCenter. I do have certain critical VMware events which I want to monitor. It's pretty simple. You can go to the vCenter directly, which is monitored inside the Op Manager, and click on VMware events. Under the VMware event, you can select the one which is pretty important for you. You can click on add new and see the event which is happening live and get the info, or you can associate the pre-existing ones, or you can delete the ones which are not critical for you, or you can change the severity of the respective event which you want to monitor and then take it forward accordingly. And this is how you can monitor the VMware events on your vCenter for the virtual environment and get notified accordingly. So when we talk about data store based monitoring, what are the metrics which Op Manager allows you to monitor in terms of data store? So for example, this is one of my data stores which is there under my vCenter, which is associated to a few of my hosts and the virtual machines which are under them. So here I could see how many, which virtual machine is using how much of resources in this data store, and what is the total allocation of memory and the disk space which is actually free, and various other metrics such as data store free space, data store in percentage read and write, or data store throughput usage, or the data store writes input and output processing speed, and various other information which are critical in terms of data store based monitoring. And this helps me keep in track of what is used in the data stores and how it's been monitored and how it has been used by various virtual servers or hosts which are running on my environment, and how I could optimize them and get notified accordingly. So every metric which you're monitoring is configurable. You can have a custom polling interval. You can monitor the desired matrices. You can set thresholds and get alerted immediately if something goes wrong in those matrices. And also you could get notifications via email, SMSs, or the desired set of ticketing as well. So this is how Op Manager allows you to monitor the virtual environment with all the possible metrics which you want to monitor, which are critical to your environment, with custom thresholds, and get notified if something goes wrong according to the configuration which you have done for the respective metrics in the monitored devices in Op Manager. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about Nutanix monitoring. So you can track your Nutanix HCL performance, discover your Nutanix cluster and see everything about them in one place. You can keep track of your Nutanix host and their performance in real time. You can monitor your Nutanix VMs through SNMP, WMI, and CLI protocols. You do have dedicated reports for them. And if you want to see in detail about the Nutanix-based discovery and monitoring, you could click on the link which is given at the bottom of the presentation slide, which is going to show you a video presentation about the Nutanix-based discovery and monitoring. So now let me take you to the Op Manager and show you how the Nutanix-based monitoring and the devices which are available under the Nutanix cluster once you add them to the Op Manager. So as soon as you add a Nutanix device to the Op Manager, this is how it happens. So just give me one moment. Let me refresh the browser, and then we could take it forward accordingly. So let me refresh the browser so that we could see how the Nutanix-based monitoring happens and how we could view various information in terms of Nutanix-based monitoring. And this is taking a little while. Just bear with me for a second. Just give me a few seconds. We're getting through. Yeah, we are almost there. Just give me another few seconds. We are there. The product is up and running again. Sorry for the delay. So as soon as you add and monitor the Nutanix cluster, this is how the information is going to be available for you. So once you add your Nutanix cluster to the Op Manager, you would be able to see the hosts which are available under them, the virtual machine, the disk which is associated in each of the respective Nutanix devices, and the storage-based monitoring is available. And also when you monitor the respective Nutanix servers, for example, I am monitoring one of my virtual machine which is under my Nutanix cluster. These are the various information I could monitor with respect to the Nutanix environment based on the Prism API, and through which I could monitor my Nutanix cluster in a detailed manner and get more information about them. So now let me take you back to the presentation and let's continue with the webinar. So the next topic which we are going to see is about network monitoring. So in terms of network monitoring, we'll see what are the various matrices which can be done in terms of router-based performances, CPU or memory usage, temperature, and etc. We could set thresholds for performance matrices. And when in terms of monitoring the switch-based performances, you can monitor the CPU or memory usage, backplane utilization, and etc. And in terms of monitoring your firewall performance, you can monitor the CPU and memory usage, active session counts, and etc. And in terms of printer-based monitors, you can monitor paper jam, low paper, or no paper, low toner, or no toners, and etc. in your printers based on the exact requirement. So when we talk about router-based monitoring and network-based performance metrics which we can monitor using Op Manager. This is what we can monitor them. So when we take an example of a router, let me show you what are the various metrics which can be monitored in terms of network devices, especially if it's going to be a router. So in the router, as you can see, you can monitor the hardware matrices which are running on them, CPU, memory, the sensors, and everything, and also the monitors, as we have seen, CPU, memory, disk read and write, IO rates, buffer myths raised, and buffer failures as well. So based on various matrices and the information which you want to monitor, you can monitor them under the network devices for the respective type. If it's going to be a router, yes, you can. If it's a switch, you can. Printers, firewalls, based on the vendor type, you can monitor various matrices which are critical to them or which are critical in your environment, and you can get set thresholds and get notified accordingly. Next topic which we're going to see is about interface monitoring. We can monitor the health, traffic, error, and discard rate of the interfaces. You can handle everything for a specific type of interface in your with the interface templates. You can group the interfaces for an hostile view. You can automatically update the interface properties like speed or description every 24 hours, which the Op Manager is going to do. And as you are aware, interface-based monitoring in Op Manager is completely based on SNMP. So if you want to monitor your interfaces or links which are there in your end devices, you need SNMP to be enabled. And using SNMP, we would be discovering and monitoring the interfaces inside your respective devices using Op Manager. So when we talk about interface-based monitoring, let's take an example here and see what are the various metrics which can be monitored in terms of an interface. So as soon as you discover the devices based using an SNMP credentials, you can add and monitor the interfaces which are there in your environment. So this interface, admin and operation status is up, which means that the interface is up and running. I could see the availability, the health status of my interface, the received and transmitted rate, and I could also have various monitors such as interface traffic utilization, transmit and receive, discard, error, traffic utilization. I could take reports. I could set thresholds if I wanted to. See, if I want to set threshold settings which are pre-configured. If you want, you can customize it as well. And if you want to do a bulk configuration, you could very well do it under settings, configuration, interface templates, where you can create groups for your specific set of interfaces, or you can set a global configuration using the interface templates and push these configurations to the interfaces which you're monitoring and get notified accordingly and monitor the desired metrics alone. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about hardware monitoring. So in Op Manager, you can monitor the hardware metrics like fan speed, RPM, voltage, and temperature. You can suppress alarm. You can suppress hardware-based alarm if it's not required or if it's not critical for you to get notified. These are you can have a custom or a configurable monitoring interval for the hardware-based monitoring. In hardware-based monitoring, we do support Cisco, Juniper, HP, and Dell devices. So now let me take you to the product and show you the various metrics which can be viewed and monitored when it comes to hardware-based monitoring for network devices in my environment. For example, this is a switch where I am monitoring various hardware metrics and the sensor-based status as well. Fan, what is the status of my fan? What's the temperature of them? And I could also see a graphical information about the temperature which is happening and how it is being monitored, which particular metrics is using how much, and if it's going to be a power-based consumption, how much power is used by what particular process, and if it's going to be a fan speed, I could view them. And likewise, the voltage consumption of each and every matrix or the sensor which is used or which is running on this particular device. So the complete hardware-based monitoring is there. So in case if a sensor is going to be defective or if it's not working as expected, the Op Manager is going to immediately alert you, and you can make the required changes in the equipment or the device itself, so that you will not have any major downtime or outages in your environment because of an unnoticed or not monitored hardware metrics in your environment. As we have seen, we can suppress the alarms for the hardware monitoring or have a custom polling interval for the hardware metrics for critical devices such as my core router or my uplink routers or switches which are there in my environment or in your environment. So let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about IPMI monitoring. So in this, you can monitor the hardware metrics such as system temperature, fan speed, power supply, and etc. You can get a real-time hardware health monitoring using SNMP and API. It it functions independent of the server, CPU, and operating system. And here we support Dell iDRAC using SNMP and API version 8 for HP ILO using APIs, and for IBM, we can monitor them using SNMP. We do have a comprehensive report and a dedicated widget for the IPMI monitoring. So when we talk about IPMI monitoring, let me show you what are the various informations which you could see in terms of IPMI when you add a HP ILO device or a Dell iTrack to the op manager and start monitoring them. For example, when we see this particular IPMI Dell iTrack device which I'm monitoring within the op manager, these are the informations which I can see in them. For example, in terms of monitors, what are the manufacturing hardware information, sensor status, and also when it comes to hardware-based monitoring, what are the actual status of each individual sensors and how things are happening. If I want to take a necessary action, I could very well do them and proceed accordingly. And the same goes for all the other IPMA monitors for ILO or iTrack devices, which I am monitoring using Op Manager. And the next topic which we are going to see is about Meraki monitoring. So using Meraki monitoring, you will have an in-depth Meraki based performance monitor. You can manage multiple network access points, clients, and etc. You have dedicated reports and dedicated dashboards for Meraki based monitoring. Op Manager offers you a complete all-inclusive inventory for monitoring a Cisco Meraki environment with service set, identifier mapping, and in-depth monitoring for associated entities such as Meraki Security, Meraki Switches, Meraki Radio, or Meraki Cellular Gateway, Meraki Vision, access points, SSIDs, clients, nodes, and ports which are there in your Meraki environment or in your Meraki devices which you're monitoring using Op Manager. So, for example, as soon as you add one of your Meraki devices to the Op Manager, and this is how the information is going to be visible under the Meraki devices. For example, I am going to show you this Cisco Meraki, which I am monitoring in my setup, where you can see all the devices which are under them, along with the network status, the rogue access points, the clients which are associated to this Cisco Meraki, and various other information based on exact particular metrics which I want to monitor and take it forward accordingly. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. The next topic which we are going to see is about IPSLA. For example, you do have a headquarters and a development center, and you want to see how the VoIP-based connection is there, and if there is any delay in the voice, or a person in the development center is not able to have a better audio quality, or the connection is a little slow, you can use the IPSLA monitoring from the op manager side and monitor your WAN or VoIP-based connections in your environment. So Op Manager offers you monitoring solution for a WAN and a VoIP-based monitoring. IPSLA-based monitoring for WAN and VoIP is available. You can monitor the latency, jitter, MTTR, RTTR, round-trip time, MOS, and other critical metrics which are available. Detailed reports on link availability, error statistics, and round-trip time trends are available. You can monitor your VoIPs, quality of service trend graph, detailed source and destination performance reports are available. So the next topic which we are going to see is about WLC monitoring. So in terms of WLC monitoring, you can monitor your traffic utilization, signal strength, SSIDs and rogue SSIDs, and the access points, active clients which are there in your WLC. So now let me take you to the product and show you how the access point based or WLC based monitoring works when you add your wireless LAN controller to the op manager, and how the monitoring and the various metrics which are available. So as soon as you add your wireless LAN controller to the op manager, you would be able to immediately see all the SSIDs which are running on them, the access points based monitoring is available, rogue SSIDs, and the clients that are connected to which particular SSIDs through which particular API, and the traffic consumption of them accordingly, and you can set thresholds and monitor them and get notified accordingly. So by using the wireless monitoring solution from the Op Manager, you would be able to know what is actually happening in your environment based on your wireless LAN controller and get a detailed structural understanding of what is happening, what's the consumption, how the resources are used, and you can have a better visibility of your network and take necessary actions if something goes wrong to avoid any major outage or downtime in your environment. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. So the next topic which we are going to see is about the question and answer session. So now we are going to have a short question and answer session where I'll be sharing few of the interesting questions which we have received during the course of the webinar for the better advantage of larger audience. The first question: can we monitor URLs in Op Manager? Yes, you can monitor URLs in Op Manager, and this is a license-based URL-based monitoring where it is based on packages of 5, and from the version 12.5.375 you would be able to monitor the URLs in an advanced and an enhanced manner, and it is licensed based on number of URLs which you wanna manage. Moving on to the second question: what are ideal interfaces? So an ideal interface is nothing but if an interface is not collecting, or if there is no traffic in them for the next 30 days, it will be considered as an ideal interface. Or if the interface has an speed of 0, then this or those interfaces will be considered as an ideal interface in Op Manager, to avoid unnecessary polling or data collection for the interfaces which does not have any flows which are happening in them, or which doesn't have an if speed configured to them. Moving on to the next question: what is self-monitoring in Op Manager? When we talk about self-monitoring in Op Manager, Op Manager provides a monitoring solution for the server where the product is hosted. So using the self-monitoring, you will be able to get notified if there is any a huge CPU utilization by critical processors such as Java, Postgres, or system CPU. You can get monitoring based on disk utilization. If there is any data collection stop, for example, the data collection stops within Op Manager for all the devices or specific devices, you can get notified. Or if the archiving fails for the respective devices, you would get notified. And if there is any problem with the data collection for a specific monitor due to a credential failure, you would be able to get notified accordingly. And this is where the self-monitoring in Op Manager helps you maintain the Op Manager server and the software itself to the fullest, and have a pretty greater performance, and you can monitor your environment in real time and get more information. Moving on with the next question: what are the device snapshot settings? So the device snapshot settings helps you customize the way in which you view the tabs or informations in them. For example, if you want to view them based on a tab view, you can do them. Or if you want to view them in an widget based view, you can do them. So based on individual device snapshot settings, you can view them accordingly, tabular or a device based access UI in your particular devices, or the vendors that you're monitoring from the Op Manager side, and how you view them using Op Manager. So this is where device snapshot settings comes into play and helps you customize the view or the way you look at the device when you had them inside Op Manager. Let's move on to the next question. What are the key features of agent-based monitoring? So using agent-based monitoring, you would be able to monitor real-time information, such as in case if there is a reboot, you can monitor them. If there is any events or any critical changes that are happening, them you'll get instantaneous alerts. And even if the Op Manager is down, the monitoring of the devices will still be active, and it will store the data for the next 1 hour. Even if the Op Manager is down for 1 hour, the agent is going to monitor the device and store the data, and that data will be sent back to the Op Manager as soon as it comes back online. So using agent, you will not have any downtimes or a gap in the monitoring of your environment or the devices which you are monitoring in your organization, which gives you a better overhead on what you are managing and how you can maintain your environment to the fullest. Moving on to the next question: does Op Manager support vCenter version 7? Yes, Op Manager supports the monitoring of vCenter, which are of version 7. And if you want to know more about the next topic, which we are going to see, how Op Manager alerts, what is the reporting capability of the op manager, and how network mapping is available within op manager for the discovered and the monitored devices. Don't miss the part 3 of this season's op manager training series, which is conducted on April 20th. So we would be looking forward for you to attend the part 3 of the op manager webinar, where we would be seeing the following topics in detail: alarms, SNMP traps, notifications, network maps, and the reporting capability of the op manager itself. And also, we would be uploading all our how to do videos and technical videos in our YouTube channel. You could visit them and view them anytime. And this is our official help documentation. And we would be having our technical discussion in our forum post with our customers and resellers and our partners. If you want to get in touch with our team, you could drop an email at opmanager-support at manageengine.com, or you can dial in directly. And we have introduced a chat support as well, where you'll be able to get instantaneous support from our technicians directly. And let's say you want to register yourself and become a certified op manager pro. This is the right time. Register yourself in the link which is given in the presentation slide. Attend an examination, and then become a certified op manager pro, and which helps you deploy and monitor the op manager to the fullest, and in turn monitor your environment to the fullest, and you'll be able to have a better visibility of your network using op manager and the certificate which you have done. And this certification helps you and gives you a better job opportunities moving forward. And I thank one and all for attending this webinar. Looking forward to meet you in the next part of this op manager seasons of the op manager training. Thank you.